Hey everybody, Mr. The Fanboy here. It's time for your late, or my late, out of date review of TNA Slammiversary 2016. I first saw Slammiversary 2016 shortly after it aired, but for several reasons I never got around to doing a full review of what was an awesome show. And I didn't expect Slammiversary this year to be all that good because well, the first problem I had, it was in the impact zone. It was in the impact zone. You know, Slammiversary, Lockdown, and Bound for Glories are usually all my favorite pay-per-views because they usually go to big places. For Bound for Glory, they usually go to St. Louis. For Slammiversary, they usually go to Dallas. And for Bound for Glory, they have various venues, and see, and with Slammiversary being in the Impact Zone, that makes the show, it made the show no different than any episode of Impact. And Impact this year has just been awesome. So I didn't see how TNA would top Impact with Slammiversary, Slammiversary. All the cool matches we've seen on Impact, how would they top that with Slammiversary? Talk about going into a pay-per-view of low expectations. This pay-per-view was awesome. First, they started with a tribute to I think there was a mass shooting in Orlando, Florida earlier this year. Then Slammiversary, they had throughout the night, they had this awesome production theme. Yeah, they didn't use a normal musical theme like every other pay-per-view. This had a cool production theme and a yellow color scheme throughout the show. So despite being the Impact Zone, it felt like a big and epic show, and the fans were rowdy for just about everything. This was an awesome show from beginning to end. We started off with the first match, which was a an X Division Championship match between Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett, Eddie Edwards, and DJZ, and nothing really special. A phenomenal match to start the show. Really didn't care much for the match. However, I am happy Eddie Edwards pinned reversed Trevor's Fisherman Buster into a small package to become the new X Division champion, which of course he would later use option C to challenge Bobby Lashley for his World Heavyweight Championship. Like I said, I really didn't care much for this match because while I like all the X Division competitors in this match, none of the competitors I wanted to see, like Spud and Mandrews or even Tigre Uno, who's been inactive for several months, were in this match. So I really didn't care. Really didn't care for this match. Now the next match is one of the matches I was actually looking forward to the most, and that was oh yes, Basali Baraka and Baron Dax, the Tribunal, led by Al Snow, versus Grotto and Mahabali Shera. Love the Al Snow Shera and Grotto feud. That's been one of the best feuds. That's been, my opinion, one of the best feuds of this year, and the feud I was actually probably most into. I mean, yeah, we all know the best feud is the Final Deletion, but I didn't care much for it. Initially, but as I saw it more and more, I started to like it, and now love the Final Deletion. Love the Final Deletion feud, but I didn't care much for the Hardy Boy Final Deletion feud. So this feud right here, Grotto Mahabali Shera versus Al Snow's newly debuted team, who I think both of these guys are from NXT. I'm not sure, but this was was it like a 5-star wrestling match? This was an old school babyface versus the heel match. The crowd was into it the entire show. They were readily behind Grotto and Mahabali Shira. Grotto, in my opinion, Grotto and Baron Dax. Dax shined the most in this match. The match ended when Al Snow distracted the referee and the tribunal hit their finisher, which is Basili Baraka holds the holds he Basili Baraka held Grotto in a backbreaker position with Baron Dax coming off the top rope with the driving elbow for the 1 2 for the 1 2 3. Um next is Gail Kim versus Sienna versus Jade. It was supposed to be Gail Kim versus Maria. She came out for a match with Maria, but Maria had a broken arm and couldn't compete. So Billy Corgan brought out first off used the X-rays to prove her injury is legitimate, and then Gail Kim demands a match anyway. So instead of Gail Kim versus Maria, it's Gail Kim versus Jade versus Sienna for the knockouts championship. Um Jade is about Jade is a, Jade is about to Jade is about to win the match. That is until Marty Bell shows up out of nowhere and nails and turns on her former partner Jade and nails her with some foreign object, allowing Sienna to pick up the win and become the new Knockouts champion. Awesome three-way. Love the Gail Kim Maria feud, and of course, like I said, I love the Dollhouse has been so much better since they broke up. I love the Jade's monster push she had earlier this year. Um Now the next match of the night was, oh yes, one of the other matches I was looking forward to, and that was James Storms versus the pay-per-view debut. He debuted on Impact before this. The pay-per-view debut of Braxton Stutter. This right here was an awesome match. The match started off with James Storm coming out, first off putting over TNA, putting over the roster, then talking about the history of TNA, of how Jeff Jarrett gave a couple of punk kids like AJ Styles, Abyss, James Storm a chance on Wednesday night, and several years later he wants to do the same thing, so he brings out Braxton Stutter in a face versus face match. This was a wrestling clinic. I love Braxton Stutter, one of my all-time favorite wrestlers in TNA. In TNA right now, I think Braxton Stutter. I love his music and love his character, love his laid-back character, and love his badass name, Braxton Stutter. That's way better than Pepper Potts. Pepper Potts, which was his name on the independent circuit. I love Braxton Stutter. Yeah, like I said, this was just a normal match. James Storm hits the closing time, followed by the last call super kick to pin Braxton Stutter for the 1 2 3. While it was an awesome match, there was like really nothing special other than like I said, I enjoy watching Braxton Stutter. I remember Braxton Stutter hitting a phenomenal bicycle kick, but this was just a wrestling clinic, and this was one of my favorite matches of the night, and one of the matches I was looking forward to the most, along with the Tribunal Grotto and Mashira match I was seeing earlier. Now next, this in my opinion is an underrated gem, because this was an awesome match, but I forget about it. And this was an awesome fight, but I forget about this match, and that was, oh yeah, but before that and after the match, nothing, no one turns on no one, and Braxton Stutter and James Storm shake hands and share a beer after after the match, and then next we get, like I said, what was an underrated gem. That was the King of the Mountain Championship match between Eli Drake and I think the Eli Drake and defending champion Eli Drake and Bram. Awesome match. I often forget about this match, which is why I refer to it as a broken which is why I refer to it as an underrated gem. Um Drake hits his finisher, the blunt force trauma for the 1-2-3 to retain his championship. Next match of the night surprised the hell out of me. That was Mike Bennett versus Ethan Carter III. Now, I knew this would be an awesome fight, but I didn't think this will be this awesome. This match and EC3's later match at BFG Bound for Glory have been the best I've seen EC3 wrestling-wise. We've seen character-wise, EC3 is phenomenal, but this match right here proved to me wrestling-wise, character-wise, and as a fighter, as a worker, EC3. But this match proved to me as a wrestler how good he is. This has been the best performance. This and his match with Lashley at BFG later this year was back in October have been the best performances I've seen of EC3. This was a phenomenal match. EC3 was the babyface with Mike Bennett. This is another awesome feud that has been going on for months. But the spectacular part for me came at the end of the match where EC3 first he hit the Marvelous One, Mark Merrill's move, and Consequences Creed's move, the TKO into a stunner. Then he hit his finisher, the 3-percenter for the 1-2-3. Like I said, man, just another awesome match, a phenomenal performance by EC3 and Mike Bennett. Knew this match would be awesome, but I didn't think it'd be this awesome. Now the next match of the night, oh yes, another match I was looking forward to. Full Metal Mayhem, Matt Hardy versus Brother Nero. I love brother versus brother feuds. I love brother versus brother feuds, and this match right here did not disappoint. This match right here was a phenomenal match, man. This right here was a phenomenal match. Too many awesome spots to call, man. They brawled all over the arena. Matt Hardy did the senton, not the swanton, but the senton, the leg drop he does onto Hardy on a Jeff did the senton leg drop he does onto Hardy on a ladder. Then the match ended where the match ended in spectacular fashion where Jeff Hardy hits the swan dive, hits the swanton bomb through a table for the 1-2-3. Now the next match of the night was the tag team championship match between the tag team championship. Oh yes, another match I was looking forward to, and that was Abyss and Crazy Steve, the defending champions, wrestling the Bromance, Robbie E and Jesse Goddard. Like I said, man, love the bromance as baby faces and legit competitors instead of being comedy jobbers for wrestlers like AJ, Kazarian, Joe, and Gunner and James Storm. I love how they're top baby faces and serious competitors. And you had it last year. I thought Robbie E could have when you had the breakup of the bromance, Robbie E alone last year could have been a top babyface, and I thought Jesse Goddard could be a top heel. Now, in 2016, you put them both together, and they're so much more entertaining, but just so much more entertaining as faces. The Bromance, probably the one of the best tag teams next to Decay you have in TNA. The Bromance, Robbie and Jesse Goddard. Before I get to the match, we're gonna put them over some more. They're entertaining. All their segments are entertaining. All the segments they've had this year have been entertaining, and they're awesome in the ring, especially Jesse Goddard, with Robbie E being being good in the ring, but being more charismatic. Where Jesse Goddard is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal athlete in that ring. He has he has an awesome body, is extremely powerful for a guy his size, and moves like a cruiserweight in that ring, man. Man, like I said, Jesse Goddard, he's had a lot of awesome matches and matches this year, man. This year, and like I said, another awesome match. And I like how in this match, Abyss and Crazy Steve really put over Robbie and Jesse Goddard. While they didn't win the match, they put them over as a legit threat to the titles. There was a moment in the match where Jesse Goddard and the bromance were Jesse Goddard was cleaning house, and I thought for a minute that they were actually gonna win, but the match ends. After the match ends when Rosemary distracts where Rosemary yeah, there was before I get to that, where they hit their finisher, they hit the move where Jesse Goddard holds the opponent in a spinebuster position, in a bear hug spinebuster position. Then Robbie E comes from behind. Robbie E comes with a clothesline, Then Jesse Goddard puts him in his finisher, the Adonis Crab, and it was about to be over, but Abyss takes them out, and then power bombs Crazy Steve onto Goddard. Abyss takes them out. He choke slams Goddard, then power bombs his partner Crazy Steve onto Goddard for the 1-2-3. Like I said, awesome match. Even though they didn't win, the K put Robbie and Jesse Goddard over as legit challengers for that tag team championships. And this was one of my favorite matches. This was one of the matches I was looking forward to the most. Now, the next match I was looking forward to the most was the TNA Heavyweight Championship knockout or tap out match between Drew Galloway and Bobby Lashley. This right here was an intense MMA type match. The physicality in this match, an awesome performance by both men. The match ends where Bobby Lashley but before I get to the end of this match, there was one cool spot where on the steps, Drew Galloway put Bobby Lashley in the sharpshooter on the steps. The match ends in spectacular fashion where Bobby Lashley he also hit a tombstone power driver in his match. The match ends in spectacular fashion where Bobby Lashley sidesteps the Claymore kick and knocks Drew Galloway out. Knocks Drew Galloway out with a right, then puts him in the vice, puts him in the anaconda vice, and Galloway passes out for the 1-2-3, and Bobby Lashley becomes your new TNA heavyweight champion. Like I said, just a phenomenal show, man. Just a phenomenal show. This review took so long because there was so much awesome stuff on this show that I had to continuously watch this pay-per-view over and over again to get and remember it all. And I still can't remember it all, but this right here was a phenomenal show, man. Another awesome show. Yeah, this was my review of TNA Slammiversary 2016. Bound for Glory 2016 and Destination X 2016 are coming up. All right. I'm done.